Hey, how's it going? My name is Ryan O'Shaughnessy and I represented Ireland at Eurovision in 2018 with a song called Together. And I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience with that, how it came about, the song itself, and kind of where I was at that time in my life and what was going on. So stick around. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. And I hope you get a little bit of more of an insight into myself, a bit of the music industry, and Eurovision. So here it goes. Okay, so in 2017, I was asked to write a song for a guy called Brendan Murray, who was already chosen as the Eurovision entrant for Ireland that year. So myself, a guy called Mark Kaplis, shout out to Cappy, and Laura Elizabeth Hughes, we got into a room, and this was all under the umbrella of The Nucleus, which is a Dublin-based publishing company. But basically, this guy who set up The Nucleus, he organised for this writing session to happen. The song ended up being Together, the one that I ended up representing Ireland with in 2018. But the song went forward to RTE, and I believe that Louis Walsh, this is in 2017, I believe Louis Walsh didn't like the song for Brendan. So Brendan went, and I think he sung a song called Dying to Try, if I remember correctly. So that was 2017. 2018 comes around, and I get a call. Ryan, we really like the song for Eurovision 2018. We need to find a singer. So I sung on the demo of Together. And so I said, okay, it sounds cool. I'm going away on tour. I was supposed to go away on tour with an Irish music company over in the States. And I was just about to leave. And I end up having to try and look for a singer for this song. So I'm like shopping around. I'm like, who do I think could sing this? Because Brendan Murray's voice is really, really high pitched, and that's what the song was written for. It's like, said we'd be together till we die. So it's like very, very high. Brendan, shout out to you if you're watching. You got a very, very high pitched voice, and it's hard to sing the way you sing. So we can't find a singer. It took us a while. We were looking for a singer, and people started saying, Ryan, why don't you just do it? So two things crossed my mind: Jedward, Dustin the Turkey. Maybe more things. My uncle represented Ireland in 2001. Gary O'Shaughnessy. So all these things were on my mind. I'm like, is it something that I really want to do? Is it going to be good for my career? Is it the right path for me, So finally, I decided, you know what? I'll just do it. I'll do it. Why not? Let's just do it. Let's give it a shot. So while I'm over in the States on tour with this Irish music band called Dublin Irish Dance, I was having like midnight phone calls over there with people back here trying to get contracts signed and put everything through, trying to organise the music video, all this type of stuff, because I would have been over there in January, February, early March on tour, and as soon as I came home I had to hit the ground running with promo for the Eurovision, which was going to be in May. So I need to get all my ducks in a row while I was over there. But I get a phone call saying, Ryan, we need you to sign this contract now or it's not going to go through. So I'm in a hotel. It's like early in the morning. I'm like, okay, I'll just sign it. So I signed away 80% of the song to a publisher who is going to act as the record company on my behalf or on RTE's behalf, because RTE don't want to be a record label. So that was signed off. And I didn't know really what I was doing at that time. I didn't get legal advice. I basically just signed it away. Whereas there was no label, there was no money spent from a label perspective that would need to be recouped. It all just was going into the hands of this publisher who organised the writing session, pretty much. Now, credit where it's due. There's a bit of work put in the background, getting some production stuff done while I was away. But on the grander scheme of things, not 80% worth of a song that belonged, as far as I'm concerned, to the writers and to myself, the performer. So I had an idea while I was away, right? I was like, what if the music video had two gay guys dancing in it. All my music videos, except for No Name, have couples in them. So I call back and forth with RTE, and I'm trying to discuss, come here, this is what I want to do. I think this is a great idea for a music video. They're like, Ryan, we don't know. It might be pushing the boat out a bit. Maybe if there was two guys, but there was a girl as well. And there was a guy on a phone call, and he wanted me to come out of an exploding cake on stage. Like an exploding cake. Basically, I got it through, got it across the line, and they said, right, Ryan, we'll do it for the music video, but if it doesn't work out on the music video, we won't bring it to the stage. I got messages from people right after that music video dropped. I got messages from people being like, thank you so much. I live in Russia, and I've been able to come out to my parents. We decided to bring it onto the stage. So then I'm home. I go out to all these different Eurovision parties all over Europe, Israel. There must have been like 7 or 8 parties around Europe, and it was really, really fun. And I'm like, at this time, like, I've been on tour in the States, and I was drinking a lot, so like most evenings I'd have a few drinks, but it was like I was just heavy, like waking up early, working out, like working really hard in the day, drinking at night, waking up early, working out, and it was like this mad heavy cycle. But I knew what I was getting into, and I was like burning the candle at both ends big time. So the week of the Eurovision comes around. No one really rates Ireland. We fly over. Some people start talking about this music video, and they start talking about how the dancers are going to be on stage. And in all fairness to RTE, we really did pull together a really good staging show where we had the two guys dancing and the rain coming down. So we got through the semi-final, which hadn't been done in years for Ireland, and it was like so amazing. But I went out and I partied so hard, like for like 2 days after that. I partied like I'd won it, and it probably wasn't the best thing to do, you know, because I was like catching up with myself then towards the final. Long story short, and I'm sorry if I'm keeping you for so long, but at the very end of the Eurovision, it all ends. Now I missed out on a very important point. Mango TV in China buy the rights of the Eurovision in order to show the Eurovision in China on Mango TV, so on one of their channels. But because it's not a very liberal country, they blurred out the pride flags. And one of the rules within Eurovision is you can't change any of the visuals or the audio. You have to just play it exactly as it is. They got their rights revoked because the pride flags during my performance were blurred out. And it's because I had the first idea I had of two guys dancing in the music video. And also, Russia held a day of remembrance for the army the day of the semi-final, so that they didn't have to show the first semi-final, my clip from the first semi-final. So I believe, it might not be true, but I'd like to think that the original idea I had of having the two guys dancing, two superpowers had to change their norms in order to work around their anti-gay laws. And it wasn't really a big deal in my mind. I was like, it just hasn't been done. Let's just do something different. It hasn't been done. That's my Eurovision story, I suppose. I hope I didn't bore you. If you liked it, please let me know down below. Like and subscribe, please. So I hope you're all great. Much love as always. Bye.